Can I start off by asking why is it, when it comes to the Korean War, not much is really known. It's not really talked about. Why is that?
Yeah, good morning. Well, the Korean War is quite well known in some circles, but generally, Korea itself is poorly known by people in Australia as a country. We know even less about the Korean War. We know about some significant actions such as the Battle of Kapyong, but few people really are aware of the activities of the Air Force during the Korean War, or even that the Navy played a role. So there's a lot more to shed light on a conflict.
How costly was it for us, Matt? How many lives did Australia end up losing?
Yeah, well, over 3 years, from 1950 to 1953, 17,000 Australians deployed, and of those, 340 were killed in action or died as a result of their deployment. It's worthwhile remembering there's still a number of missing action who are still on the peninsula.
And what were the stories about the Korean War? You know, what did our soldiers say about it? What were their experiences?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was very cold winters, and the summers are quite hot. It was across quite a considerable range of different operations. In the beginning in 1950, when the Australians were fighting the North Koreans, taking it up to north of Pyongyang, it was a different nature to the nature of the war, which then transferred into a more set piece action in 1951, and then the last 2 years were really just a static war, almost like fought from trenches. So it was fought hard action and at a high cost.
Well, I mean, it was a stalemate, right? It ended in a stalemate, but I mean, you can say that it still officially hasn't even ended to this day. It's staggering, isn't it?
Well, it actually hasn't ended. I mean, there's an armistice, which there's no peaceful outcome yet from the Korean War. So technically, the two countries are still at war, and we see that even this month with the provocations between North Korea and South Korea. The stalemate largely was a result of just inability to really resolve the negotiations for an outcome that was suitable for both parties. And right to the end, on the 24th, 25th, 26th of July 1953, before the armistice on the 27th of July, there was a massive Chinese attack on a feature called the Hook, defended by the 2nd Battalion of the Royal Australian Regiment and supported by the 3rd Battalion of the Royal Australian Regiment. And a significant number of Chinese were killed there, but there was hard fighting right until the end.
And tomorrow marks 70 years, right, Matt, that Australia actually entered that war. Is anything being held to commemorate that?
Yeah, look, there's a few wreath layings around town. I think the preparations for people getting more involved have been somewhat disrupted by COVID-19, understandably.
Yeah.
But there's good film on the 30th of June by the Korean Cultural Centre called. It's about Passage to Busan, about a mother's journey back to Busan to find the grave of her son.